No, come, please. Come.
to this front page in Africa, we are live at the executive pavilion where the United States Embassy here in Liberia, together by Ambassador McCarthy and his wife, Mrs. Sandra McCarthy. They are posting the red, white and blues in celebration of the 247th anniversary of the independence of the United States of America. At this auspicious ceremony today, the President of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Weah, his cabinet officials, members of the 54th legislature, the royal and diplomatic corps here in Liberia, and other dignitaries are all attending this ceremony today. As you see, President Weah is in conversation with Ambassador McCarthy and Mrs. McCarthy. All is taking place here at the Executive Pavilion on Broad and Ashmont Street. My name is Gerald, calling for Front Page Africa.
My name is Dennis. I'm here here from the Pavilion for the independence celebration of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am your MC for the evening. My name is Joel Maybrick, Deputy Chief Commissioner of the U.S. Embassy. It's good to have you all here tonight. Before we begin the program, could I ask everybody to please either turn off your cell phones or at least turn down the volume so it doesn't ring during the ceremony. Appreciate it very much. And if you could cease all conversation, we have esteemed speakers ahead. And Marines will be performing our ceremony, and all this depends on silence. So if someone is talking next to you, just nudge them politely, please. Okay, so we're about to begin. Again, I'd like to welcome everybody to the U.S. Embassy's American Independence Day. We will now begin our program. I would like to introduce U.S. Ambassador to the Republic of Liberia, Michael A. McCarthy. And I would ask our VVIPs and VIP guests to join us at the front of the stage for the presentation of colors by our United States Marines.
Present the colors. Forward! retire the colors.
So if you just join me, we are the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames, messieurs,
Anthems of the Republic of Liberia and the United States of America.
may we have your silence, please? We're about to listen to Ambassador give his remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, may we have silence, please, in the room? Thank you for observing silence during the remarks of both Ambassador McCarthy and President Weah. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Good evening, everybody. It is a great honor to be here today to celebrate what will be America's 247th Independence Day. On behalf of President Biden, Secretary Blinken, and the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia, I extend my warmest greetings to you from the people of the United States of America. I would like to especially welcome our many distinguished guests here this evening. His Excellency, the President of the Republic, George Weah, Dean of the Cabinet, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dean Maxwell Stockmeyer, Sr., and the President Pro Tem of the Senate, other government ministers, members of the diplomatic community, sponsors, partners, friends, and colleagues. At this point, I would be horribly remiss if I did not stop to thank the battalions of people who worked for many months to pull today's program together, starting with the theme, converting the distinguished executive pavilion into this panorama of the blues, selecting and preparing the food, just to name a few. So thank you to GSO, maintenance, protocol, Claude, the staff of the executive pavilion, our Marine Security Detachment, Shay, Pam, Jennifer, and our co-leads, John and Julia. This is magnificent, and thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you also to my wife Sandra for following through on her determination to participate in my last Independence Day as a diplomat. And fly all the way to London. So today we commemorate the founding of the United States of America with the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776. And we celebrate the enduring partnership between the United States and Liberia. Our nations share a remarkable history dating back to 1822 when the first group of African Americans settled in Liberia, paving the way for a new nation. This was so early in our own history as a nation that some of those who signed our Declaration of Independence were still alive, including former presidents John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Throughout the years, our two nations have built a unique friendship, with the United States remaining a steadfast partner, working alongside Liberia to promote peace, stability, and economic growth. In his 1886 State of the Union address, U.S. President Grover Cleveland said about Liberia, "It cannot be forgotten that this distant community is an offshoot of our own system, owing its origin to the associated benevolence of American citizens. The moral right and duty of the United States to assist in all proper ways is obvious." As two of the world's oldest republics, we also have, over the centuries, forged a set of shared values and economic, familial, and cultural ties. The values of freedom and democracy that unite our nations are particularly relevant as Liberia prepares for its upcoming presidential elections. Upholding these values is something both of our countries feel compelled to do. It is in our nature. I have only 2 weeks remaining in my presidential appointment as U.S. Ambassador to Liberia, where I have proudly represented the United States of America. I frequently remark that though the U.S. Embassy is in Monrovia, or as you like to say, near Monrovia, Monrovia alone is not Liberia. This rings true for me personally, as I have now had the honor of visiting all 15 counties in Liberia. And bearing this in mind, I have the following reflections on the state of our two nations, the pride I hold in our bilateral relations, and the potential future of Liberia. First, I would like to recognize President Weah's administration for Liberia's principled and unwavering stand against the unprovoked attack by Russia on Ukraine. And Liberia's position in defense of the Muslim minority in one of the world's most populous nations. As exemplary global citizens, I urge you to continue to support the freedom of the oppressed against this sort of unbridled passion and aggression. I also admire this administration's efforts to work with the legislature to further strengthen the freedom of the press. Only societies with courage and maturity allow opposition figures to voice their dissent, especially during an election year. I am well aware that all too many countries do not protect press freedom, a freedom that has allowed me, as a guest of Liberia, to so fully share my concerns about the country. Every country can be improved. Every government can be enhanced. But today, as friends and partners, I would like to highlight recent Liberian victories that are worth celebrating. Liberia is a pioneer in female leadership. Not only was it the first country in Africa, yes. Not only was it the first country in Africa to elect a female president, it also elected a female vice president over 5 years ago, and has sworn in Liberia's third Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, who is a woman. And until early this year, Females made up 50% of the armed forces of Liberia's general officers. In the energy sector, the LEC has proven that with campaigns and public pressure, attitudes on power theft can be changed. The LEC also concluded CLSG negotiations, physically joining the West Africa power grid. In addition, LEC is coordinating with donors and the World Bank on the next stages of hydropower expansion, adding carbon-free power generation through additional turbines, enlarged reservoirs, and eventually a massive new dam project. So there were those who predicted disaster when the foreign advisors took their hands off the steering wheel of LEC. But note that all of these advances have been achieved under strictly Liberian management. True government reform takes patience and determination. Long-term change requires behind-the-scenes efforts that often go unseen and underappreciated. One example is the work of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to introduce systemic reforms for processing legal attestations and passports, including requiring bank receipts rather than cash for payments. We salute Library's improved ranking in the annual Trafficking in Persons report over the past 2 years, which didn't happen by coincidence. It is a concrete reflection of the coordinated effort between the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and 3 ministries of the executive branch. That's hard work, and they've done an excellent job. In another sector, Liberia offered to share with the world its experience as a leader in community health worker methodology. And 41 countries took them up on that offer. A flagship malaria study showed why this approach is receiving so much attention, as rates of infection for children 5 years and younger plummeted from 49% to 18% in only 6 years. Wow. This is phenomenal, and this is a reason for hope. In fact, in my time here, if there is one reoccurring theme that unites every visitor to this country, it is the sense of Liberia's potential. There are so many reasons for hope. I have seen a glimpse of the new Liberia in the faces of our 33 Youth Election Fellows, a U.S. Embassy program This is a U.S. Embassy program that deliberately selected young leaders from all different political parties and persuasions and various parts of Mama Liberia. They met for 3 hours a week for 10 weeks, while remaining loyal to their party affiliations. So through 10 weeks, as a group, listening to guest speakers, watching movies, and debating socio-political issues, they came out at the end with a unity of purpose and an overriding love for Liberia that would make any country strong. Our hope is for all our U.S. government exchange programs is that the unique experiences and different perspectives offered by exposure to the United States will enrich emerging leaders and in that way impact Liberian society. these people refuse to accept that progress is inevitable. No. Rather, they see that improvements are made when leaders in that society have the determination, honesty, and integrity to put the needs of the country before their personal interests. The hundreds of alumni of U.S. programs that I have met, many of whom are in the audience this evening, convinced me that this country will have valuable patriots contributing to Liberia for years to come. And let's give them a hand. I see the promise of a new Liberia in the potential of a truly independently operated passenger, cargo, and commodity transport rail from Yekapa to Buchanan, bringing farmers cheaper consumer goods and taking their produce from the country to the coast year-round, providing passengers affordable transport in every for the central coffers from iron ore transport and export duties. I see promise in the return, the exciting return of 13 Peace Corps volunteers who arrived in Liberia on June 6th after a 3-year absence. As a former Peace Corps volunteer, I look forward to learning how their time here is providing profound mutual benefit for the country and their personal development. I see the future in an empowered Liberia, and the potential of genuine decentralization, fully enabled under law, putting resources and responsibilities in the hands of those closest to the service customer base, so that each county and city can be its own test case with custom-made solutions. I see the growth of a wealthier Liberia in the potential of a national financial single switch that pulls the cloak of obscurity from financial transactions and adds to investor confidence in the Liberian banking sector. A more prosperous Liberia is, of course, one of the main goals at the U.S. Embassy, and the reason we provide substantial support to Liberia across various sectors, including health, education, business, and political leadership. Going forward, Liberia can have a bright future. It will require substantial follow-through on these important issues, the ones I've mentioned as well as others, including peaceful, free, and fair elections just 15 weeks from today, or from now. With continued commitment and collaboration, I am confident that Liberia has the power to emerge stronger and more prosperous than ever before. As my time as U.S. Ambassador to Liberia comes to an end, I want to express my deep gratitude for the warm welcome and friendship I have received during my tenure. Serving as Chief of Mission has been the honor of a lifetime, and I will cherish the memories and experiences from this remarkable country for the rest of my life, even as I begin my journey into retirement. So on behalf of the United States of America, I wish you all a happy Independence Day, and may God bless the United States of America and the Republic of Liberia, two of the oldest republics on this beautiful earth. Thank you very much. And now for those of you who have glasses, I will ask you to join me in a toast. To the good health and happiness of President Weah, and to the enduring prosperity of the Republic of Liberia.
that program marking the commemoration of the 247th independence anniversary of the United States of America. Shortly, the President of Liberia,
The President of the Republic will make these remarks.
the Honorable George Weah.
Can I have this seat? Honorable Speaker, contemporary members of the 54th Legislature here present, the Dean and members of the Cabinet, other officials of government, His Excellency McCarthy, United States Ambassador accredited to Liberia, other officials and staff of the United States Embassy in Liberia, the joint members of the diplomatic consular corps, political leaders here present, religious, traditional business, women and youth leaders here present, NGO community, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to join you and millions of Americans across the world to commemorate the 247th anniversary of the independence of the United States. Let me first convey warmest greetings and facilitation to you, Mr. Ambassador, and through you, the Honorable Pavilion Jr., President of the United States, and the government and people of the United States. On behalf of the government and people of Liberia and U.S Amb. Liberia is a natural and mutual ally of the United States. Some of the founding fathers of the Republic of Liberia came out of the United States. They came here in pursuit of liberty, justice, and equality. Although Liberia was never a colony of the United States, Liberians were not left alone in their struggle to defend their independence and sovereignty. The United States declared a special interest in Liberia maintaining its sovereignty and has worked diligently since our humble beginnings as Africa's first republic to ensure that we have remained an independent country throughout our existence. We are grateful for this stance and equally proud of our relationship. Our two countries have shared values and common positions on political ideology, liberal democracy, open capitalist economic systems, and human rights. We hold these shared values as sacred and will continue to defend them without compromise. Together, we will continue to be aggressive for what is right for Liberia, in order to save Liberia from those who want to be aggressive for what is wrong for Liberia. We are also very proud of the leadership role that the United States has played and continue to play on the world stage. We pledge to remain a traditional friend and ally and to fight along with you in our common cause in defense of democracy across the world. It is in this light that Liberia supports the United Nations and international concerted efforts for the restoration of lasting peace in Ukraine. We will remain united in our common stance on human rights, good governance, and the rule of law. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to express my thanks and appreciation to Ambassador McCarthy, who leaves here shortly after ending a successful tour of duty in Liberia since January 2021. I wish to say to you in this public manner, Ambassador McCarthy, that Liberia and Liberians appreciate the work you have done here during your tour of duty. It is our hope that you will be successful in all the future endeavors. Let me also congratulate Joe Mamberi, Deputy Chief of Mission at the Embassy of the United States in Monrovia, who will shortly be ending his tour of duty in Monrovia. I say, God bless you. I thank you. May I propose standing just raise your glass. I toast and now, Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to raise your glasses and drink with me to the good health, long life, and happiness of President Joe Biden Jr., the prosperity and well-being of the American people, and to the bonds of friendship and cooperation which so happily exist between the Republic of Liberia and the United States of America. Weah Amb yourself. Thank you.
That was President George Weah there with a brief remarks here at the ceremony marking the commemoration of the 200th.
Let's watch out up there.
Don't watch me. Yeah? Don't watch me.
Well, for the 7th independence anniversary of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for keeping silence for another minute or so. Before I close the program, please. Magic Whistler, thank you. Before I close the program, I would like to take a moment to thank our esteemed sponsors whose contributions made this evening possible. Firestone Liberia, Royal Grand Hotel, USCR, Kendaja Resort, AJA, Omega Insurance Group, GTE Trading, Ham's Vodka, Mamba Point Hotel, Aminata and Sons Incorporated, EcoBank, LR Distillery, Bella Casa Hotel, National Toiletries Incorporated, APM Terminals, Petro Trade Incorporated, Connex, Monrovia Breweries Incorporated, and AMI. Thank you again. Let's thank the sponsors.
Chief of Mission, Mr. Joel Mayberry, serving as the master of ceremony.
That marks the end of the program. What I would invite you to do is to network, mingle, get to know one another. We're going to have a group photo back here with the esteemed guests behind me. But please enjoy the rest of the evening. There are a number of stands, photo opportunities.
So we have the team. My name is Gerald Collins. Leading the team for the live broadcast. Saying thanks for watching.